What is going on, everyone? I am Steven Stumpf. He is Trenton Worsham. We're reporters for Frontstretch, and we are here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It was a great Friday night of racing. The ARCA Menard Series and the Craftsman Truck Series each had their races. Before we get to the trucks, let's talk about ARCA first. That was earlier in the day. And in a one-off start in the ARCA Main Series for Pinnacle Racing Group, it was Austin Green winning, dominating the day, leading more than half the race.
Yeah, he did, but unfortunately for his teammate, Butterbean, Brendan Queen, he did not have a great day. He blew a tire into the wall and went a couple laps down, could not recover. It tightened up the points lead a whole lot between him and the other guys, and so I talked to him after the race, and he said, I asked him about the strategy, maybe staying out to try to, do some wave rounds. Every time they did, another car would cycle through during a caution, so he was unable to get back on the lead lap. Just a disappointing day for him. He felt like he had something for the field, but we got close points race now in the ARCA Series.
Yes, Wallace Allen finished 13th, so I think he and Butterbean are tied for second. That means LeVar Scott, who finished third, is now the points leader as we head into the middle part of the season. But so yeah, one great day for Pinnacle, one bad misfortune day. But the other main story of the race was this was Cletus McFarland's third ARCA start of the season with Rhett Jones, and his first on a non-super speedway. His first two were at Daytona and Talladega. He finished ninth. He had Greg Biffle by his side, and
he had no sleeves on. Biffle,
yeah,
no sleeves.
He finished ninth, scoring his career best finish in the series, but it didn't come without trouble.
Yeah, he stayed out on a restart and spun the tires, and he got into Isabella Robusto and a couple of other drivers, took out some great cars, and he was upset about it. You can see his reaction inside the car. I know you talked to him after the race about it, but I also spoke with Greg Biffle about his race and the preparation and how different it is for him and how much he had to learn to get to this point, because it is different than a super speedway race. And so man, he's learning a lot, but the learning's coming at some expense of others and himself. So that's unfortunate to see.
Yeah, it was a big wreck when he did spin the tires. Caught Isabella Robusto, Spencer Gallagher, and a bunch of others, as you said. Obviously, he was pretty disappointed with himself post-race, but he also mentioned, when we talked to him before the race and after the race, just how much of a different beast Charlotte is compared to the super speedways. There you're wide open, you still have to make moves, but here you got to race the track along with the drivers, the braking zones, and
Bumpy.
Bumpy.
Yeah.
So, he said his own words, it was 21.2 times harder than racing super speedways. But so he finished ninth, and for a solid day for him. And another thing I do want to note from the ARCA race is that Will Kimmel was the shock pole sitter.
Yeah.
He scored just his second ARCA pole in his career. His first was back in 2017, and it looked like he actually could contend. He led the first 12 laps, but then the valve immediately broke, and he went to the garage. And that led the way for Sawalich and Austin Green to dominate the race, with the latter winning. Now we go to the Truck Series, where what a surprise. Corey Heim dominates the race, leading 98 of the 134 laps. Long green flag run to the end, and he wins by 6 seconds.
He does, and nothing went wrong. A lot of the questions post-race in the media center was, what was going through your head? So many things have gone wrong. You have 4 wins, you could have had 4 more. And so his response to that, was basically, mentality doesn't change. You just got to go after the next one. You can't control, some things that go wrong and everything. At the very end, I asked him, when you get those long stretches, especially as a younger driver in the Truck Series, what are you wanting to hear to not let your mind get complacent with that? And his was about gaps, managing the tires, not just doing anything that could bring the other guys back into the fold and everything. And he's a mature, wise driver for his age. I believe they showed a graphic during the truck race on the broadcast about Kyle Busch's truck stats at the same age, and they're very similar. He's also led I believe 700 laps, and that is the most within 11 truck starts. Or
the first 11 races of a season.
First 11 races of a season. So it's Heim time in the Truck Series, and people were asking, does the championship go through you? And he's like, well, we have to get there first. So he's still, very grounded and level-headed with it.
Yeah, but I believe he's led the most laps in more than half of the races this year, 6 of 11. He has 8 stage wins for a total of 28 playoff points already, and we're not even to the halfway point of the season. And he had to beat some Cup guys today to do it, too. Ross Chastain finished second. Kyle Busch finished fifth. But the other big story behind Corey's domination was Nice's great day. They've always been great at Charlotte in the past. Ross Chastain won this truck race, I believe, in 2022. Carson Hocevar was a contender both of his years when he was here. But it wasn't just him today. Caden Honeycutt finished third. It was his career best truck finish, and Matt Mills overcame a pit penalty to finish seventh. And that is all notable because that is Nice's first ever triple top 10 finish in the truck series. They had never placed 3 trucks in the top 10 in a single race until today. Ross was just, even though they didn't win, and it wasn't really close either. He was just so, proud of the team and all that they've done, and it was a really big day for them.
And I spoke with Caden Honeycutt after the race, and it did a lot for his confidence. And I asked him, was it reassurance that the fact that you raced his teammate Ross Chastain and Kyle Busch, a legend of this series and NASCAR in general, that close and that he belongs here? And he said yes. But he was also bummed because he wanted to win for Al Nice. Even though he had his best career finish, he wanted to do it Memorial Day weekend. He's a veteran. And so he was probably more bummed he didn't win for him than winning for himself. So, but he does have confidence going into the next races to get that elusive win.
Yep. He also does. With that third place finish, he scored a whopping 50 points today. After being kind of hovering around the cut line, he's now 51 points above the cut as we head to the middle of the season. So that team is looking really good. They may not have won today, but it looks like it's coming soon. Also notable is that BJ McLeod made a highly publicized start with Spire. He finished. It didn't start off great. Kind of ran in the 20s, but then the truck got better throughout the day. He finished 15th. That's his only start scheduled with the team for now, but he might have more lined up in the future. We'll see. But, overall, a really great day of racing tonight. And we got the Xfinity Series tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. We got Cup qualifying. And, of course, we got Indianapolis 500 galore. It's the greatest weekend of North American motorsports. We're excited to bring you all of it from here and Indy. But until next time, until tomorrow, I'm Steven, he's Trenton, and have a good night.
This is Custom Pat Chats. But what makes us custom? Well, that actually begins with you. We're just bringing your unique vision to life. No knockoffs, no lookalikes. Your design is one of a kind. We know hats, we know design, and we know quality. The proof? It's in our production. Hand-stitched with precision and care, with brands you know and trust. A one-of-a-kind patch deserves a one-of-a-kind treatment, all the way to your doorstep. It's how we keep it custom.
Steven Stumpf of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.